in the Hero Association headquarters. We're detecting an unusually high tectonic movement underneath Z City.
What? How can this be? It's geographically not possible. We have reason to believe that it's some kind of monster, sir. The city has been abandoned for quite some time, and several monsters have been spotted leaving and entering the area of this tectonic activity.
We have a report of King entering the neighboring city not too long ago, sir. He should be close enough to detect the tremors and go to check them out.
Call every available S-Class hero right away and have them come here.
We will organize a unit to check things out. But sir, if King's already there...
He might need backup. Besides, we do not know if he will go or not. Like I said, call every available S-Class hero here right away.
Boros looks up.
I've killed a leader, but that doesn't mean that I can't have any more fun now, does it? There are still plenty of monsters up there for me to fight. Maybe all of them at once could actually make me exert myself a little more.
As he says those words, Boros powers down to conserve his energy and to make things more challenging for himself in this upcoming battle before crouching down and jumping up. He plows right through the ceiling and emerges in the main room of the Monster Association. Gyoro looks at him in shock.
You're alive? What happened down there? Where is Orochi?
I killed him. The battle was quite fun, but in the end I didn't get what I was after. So now it's all of your turn. Try to make this exciting for me, would you?
Wasting no time at all, the alien dashes at Gyoro. She tries to activate her psychic powers, but before she can, she's blown to bits. The monsters look on in shock. Some of them start fleeing, while others jump down to fight the intruder. In particular, Black S, Overgrown Rover, and... The ground beneath Boros quakes as two giant claws shoot out from underneath the alien. Boros jumps up to avoid them, but that proves to be a mistake as Elder Centipede erupts from the ground and smashes into Boros mid-air. The insect monster drives the alien into the ceiling. It keeps pushing the alien further and further. Soon, it blows Boros out of the ground and onto the surface. The alien rolls off of the centipede and lands on the street of the abandoned Z City. Soon, monsters who still want to fight emerge after him through the tunnel Elder Centipede has made. Black S, Homeless Emperor, Pure Ugly, and Gums wanting revenge, Overgrown Rover and Pureblood, as well as some other lower-level monsters who don't know their worth like Rhino Wrestler. Goketsu, being intelligent enough to know when to fight and when not to, decides to sit this one out. He had a great deal of respect for Orochi, having experienced his power firsthand. And if Boros has beaten even him, then there's no point in facing the alien. The martial artist retreats into one of the tunnels. Black S begins to multiply as Homeless Emperor and Rover start blasting Boros with energy attacks. Boros simply shrugs the explosions off. Orochis were way stronger, and even they couldn't deal any damage to the alien, so what hope do these two fools have?
Don't tell me this is the best you lot can do!
Boros charges at Rover and begins pummeling him with powerful blows. The massive hound howls in pain as the alien finishes the combo with a devastating kick which sends Rover flying through several buildings. Homeless Emperor looks on stunned at first, but then begins charging up the most powerful sphere of energy he can muster. Seeing this, Boros smirks and decides to let the man prepare his attack. Maybe this one could at least make him tickle a bit. So, in the meantime, the alien figures he'd settle things with Gums and Ugly first. He begins walking toward the two of them, but Black S gets in the way. Or rather, a million Black S's get in the way. The Dominator of the Universe is a little surprised, but soon figures out that this is S's ability once he sees one of the clones clone himself.
I see. A cloning ability. Quite interesting.
It's not so much cloning as it is multiplying. I can increase my number to several dozen trillion. Think you can take down that many?
It doesn't matter if there's 1,000, 1,000,000, 1 billion, or 1 trillion. A weakling is still a weakling.
The alien lunges at the army of black S and starts plowing through them. Each and every single one of his blows generates shockwaves that wipe out dozens, if not hundreds of S's in an instant. But the tiny terror keeps multiplying, and soon, an entire tsunami of black S crashes down on Boros, who simply smiles before letting out a surge of energy and blowing the entire wave back, disintegrating thousands of black S. However, the wave is rejuvenated by a few more million copies and soon washes up on the alien again.
Still think you can win? I am a countless number of me. It doesn't matter how you strike, blast, tear, or twist, I'll keep multiplying.
And yet, the more you multiply, the weaker you become. You'll never be able to hurt me, and I can keep going for weeks.
Boros retorts before kicking one of the S's so hard that the generated shockwave disintegrates several hundred black S. Among this wave of bodies, Ugly and Gums attempt to reach Boros. Further away, Homeless Emperor is done charging his attack. The sphere he's created drowns the area in a bright white light like a miniature star, blocking out the actual sun.
Take this! All the power given to me by God!
Homeless Emperor screams as he lowers his hands, dropping the ginormous bomb on Boros, and, by extension, the army of Black S as well as Gums and Ugly. The energy sphere explodes, nuking the entire battlefield and wiping out everything in a radius of several kilometers. The city around the battleground is completely vaporized. The only things left in the area are Homeless Emperor, the downed rover, Elder Centipede, and a few Black S clones. S immediately starts yelling at Homeless Emperor for blowing up most of his army, but the man simply shrugs.
You were a perfect distraction to keep that alien in one place. I simply used the chance you gave me to get rid of that parasite. Get rid of who?
The rumble in the center of the explosion suddenly bursts open and Boros stands up. He dusts himself off and smirks.
That was a nice one. I actually felt a slight sting. Still, nowhere near enough to be satisfactory. Seems like I got my hopes up too soon. Orochi, and now all of you. None of the monsters in this association can give me a challenge. Saitama remains as the only living thing on this planet that could make me break a sweat.
Boros states before seeming to remember something.
Oh, and by the way, you there with the energy spheres.
Boros points a finger at Homeless Emperor.
You mentioned God before. I would like to have a word with you about that when I'm done with the others.
Homeless Emperor looks at Boros in shock. There's no way the alien actually survived his strongest blast, is there? And he wants to know about God too? Why? How does he even know about God's existence? Boros begins walking toward Homeless Emperor.
No! Stay away!
The man screams, terrified, and begins to fire off hundreds of blasts at the alien, desperately trying to keep him at a distance. Unfazed, Boros simply walks through the assault, tanking the shots head-on without sustaining as much as a scratch.
Please, your strongest blast did nothing. What makes you think this will be any different?
Boros emerges from the explosions right in front of Homeless Emperor and pulls back his fist. The alien punches the man in the face and his head is blown off of his body, instantly killing him. Boros' eye widens.
What? I could have sworn I held back enough to keep him alive.
Knowing how powerful the energy spheres are gave Boros an idea of how much strength to use to not kill Homeless, but still put him down. However, he didn't know that underneath his light powers, Homeless Emperor was just a normal human and ended up killing him. Meanwhile, Black S is furious.
Can't give you a challenge, huh? Don't look down on me. If a challenge is what you want, then that's what you'll get.
Black S begins to multiply rapidly. Soon, he covers the entire area. Not just the area. Half of the entire city is soon plunged into a sea of darkness as the dwarf continues to split. What follows is an absolute massacre, as Boros powers up a bit before initiating a barrage of blows so intense that each one of them generates shockwaves wide enough to kill tens of thousands of black S. And the alien fires these punches off faster than a machine gun could fire bullets. Within minutes, literal millions of black S are destroyed. And yet, the monster keeps multiplying.
Why are you telling me to wait?
I already told you, we need to wait for the other heroes to arrive so we can form a proper team to go check the situation out.
If there's a monster out there that can cause tectonic movements, then I am the only one who can face him. Any others would just get in the way. Besides, we don't know how much time we have before the creature makes its way to other, more populated cities.
Stitch sighs. As much as he hates to admit it, the number 2 S-Class hero is right. If there is indeed a monster in Z City capable of emitting the kind of energy the Association picked up earlier, there are very few heroes who could actually ever hope to take it on. There is always Blast, but there's no telling if he'll show up for something like this. And King hasn't responded to any of his calls. There's no telling what his status is. So Tatsumaki is the only one who could be tasked with something as large-scale as this.
Alright, you can go. It's not like I could stop you anyway. Just please be careful out there.
Tatsumaki pouts.
Have you forgotten who you're speaking to? I don't need any warnings from you.
Boros punches away a few more thousand black S. He's been at this for several minutes now, and as entertaining as the seemingly never-ending army of dummies to destroy has been, it's getting old, fast. Without any prior warning, the alien suddenly stops fighting, confusing the one monster army.
I'm done.
Huh? What?
I'm done fighting you.
Oh, I get it. You're running out of stamina, aren't you? Was you saying you can go for weeks just to bluff? Well, too bad, 'cause I'm not done with you yet. Not until you're begging for mercy.
I'm bored.
What?
You're boring me. I had some fun at first, punching thousands of you out of existence. But now it's just repetitive. You're no challenge for me. If I wanted to, I could wipe out this entire area with one single blast and eradicate every single one of you. It doesn't matter how much you can multiply if there's nothing left to multiply. If every body of yours is gone, then there will be nothing left to make more of you. You're easy. All that talk and yet, you're not even worth killing. I'll let the heroes have their fun with you. I'm sure there's already some on the way.
Veins pop out of Black S's face.
Why, you little...
His body shakes with rage.
I'll kill you!
Suddenly, all of the Black S bodies begin merging into one. Boros looks on confused as the S's keep piling into each other.
Whatever you're doing, bring it on.
Boros! So far you have killed 173,896,753 of me, and 65,999,826,103,247 is the current number of me inside me. Can you defeat us all when we merge? Let's go, guys! 66 million ultimate combination. Going golden won't be enough. We'll rise further.
Oh, I see. Fusion.
Boros smirks. The spark of excitement returns to his eye. He crosses his arms and awaits for his foe to be formed. A brilliant light engulfs the entire city as the ground shakes. Far below the ground, Psychos can sense the immense energy up on the surface. She figures it must be one of the cadres, but can't figure out which. She didn't think any of them could be capable of this level of power. However, right now that's not what matters. She continues to search for Orochi. Meanwhile, several kilometers away, Saitama and Genos make their way through one of the tunnels of the Monster Association. They faced a couple monsters on the way, but nothing really serious. The thick walls of the hideout make Genos' radar pretty much useless, so the two heroes are left completely lost.